Oh, we're back at this very late hour, huh? So what are we
Yeah,
starting with? We got a movie chest. We got the
yeah.
Cohen
Got
brothers.
the
What
usuals.
else?
Movie chest, the director's dive, and then at the end of the year wrap up, got some top tens, top fives lists, bottoms, obviously. Gotta talk about the ones that were
Yeah, the
not
most
so good
important
this year.
ones.
Yeah. The ones that are easier to talk about, honestly, because you can just shit on them, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyways, I figured we'd just start with our usual chats. To be quite honest, I don't have too many things to say about either of these movies, but I don't know. It's because they're both pretty good, I'd say. But
Yeah. Yeah.
if you guys want to just start off with the movie chest, start with some Training Day action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cool. Yeah, I think out of all the picks in the movie chest, this might be like one of the biggest white whales in it, or it's like one of the biggest movies that I hadn't seen. Had any of us seen it?
Yeah.
I hadn't
I, s-
either.
I had seen like clips of it, but never like the full movie from start to finish. So
Basically same, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean it has its TNT cable run for forever. So
Yeah, eternity.
yeah.
Like I think I had seen that scene where Denzel like left Ethan Hawke
Mhm.
like at that house, like, and I had like I had no idea like the impact like of the scene, like how he basically just got left there and shit, like or what had happened earlier in the day, like
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was like the ride along of all ride alongs. Tell you that. Fuck.
Yeah, I put in my notes
Yeah.
like halfway through just what a fucking day, man. And then
Dude, right?
literally,
I
He
like
says that
stopped
later.
halfway through and I was like, my brother called me or some shit, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm watching Training Day, and I was like talking to him about it, and I'm just like, a lot of shit has happened for like one day already,
Right? Fucking
I
smoking
like-
PCP, multiple
Yeah,
stops,
smoking
like-
PCP.
Jesus.
Just to start
I
it
like
off.
to imagine he gets back home and his wife's like, "How'd your first day go?" And he's just like,
I quit.
"Oh my
Dude,
god!"
right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering,
Bring
like,
up the
what the fuck
badge.
happens, like, the next day? You know what I mean? Because, like, even though Denzel is gone, but, like,
He's
the
got to
rest
have
of
some
his
like
squad
repercussions,
is, like,
right?
still there.
Yeah, for all his,
Like, the rest of
well-
his squad still wants him, like, dead, basically. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I thought it was to its credit how it was all in one day overall, though. Like, it
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
gives you such boundaries to work with and it ramped up the whole pace throughout. Like, if this was happening to you all in one day, it just, like, escalates so much to, like, what Ethan Hawke has to go through towards the end. It's just,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wondering if it would, like, mean less based on, like, just the name. I mean, it is called Training Day. So, like, if it took place over the course of a week, like,
Mhm.
would it have, like, would the title have less of an impact?
I think it wouldn't make
Oh,
sense, right?
Yeah, you'd be like, what am I
Just really
watching?
You
work.
know?
here?
I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, some movies are just, like, sold on the script, like, and, like, there has to be, like, a little
Yeah.
bit of magic in the title, just to
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
work.
Right,
Man,
yeah.
holy fuck. Did Denzel, I don't know, I feel like Denzel did such a good job of being
Yeah,
like,
man.
I don't know, just like that fucking guy.
So believable.
It seems like him and like one of the other characters when Ethan Hawke was in that house with the Mexican guys, they just like do this thing to him where they just like Ethan Hawke is in a situation that he can't get out of, or basically like he can't really do anything about, and other people just egg him on to do something.
Mhm.
And it's just like
Yeah.
fucking
Fucking
A,
with him.
like yeah, like I don't Denzel does like such a good job of doing that. But then also
Yeah.
like flipping a switch and like you just like he's so believable in the like that he keeps telling him basically that he's the good guy
Mhm.
and like he's got to do this shit, like he's got to be a little
Mhm.
dirty to like get the job
Right.
done, but
Yeah.
like then you find out it's all kind of just like bullshit.
Yeah, I
don't
love
know.
how
Yeah.
that first when he first meets him in that diner, it kind of just you know exactly what's happening. Like after that moment, I mean I audibly laughed when he was asked him, you have a dick and a pocket on each side, reach in there and pay the bill or whatever. And then
Yeah.
at that point on, I was like, I am in.
Yeah.
Denzel is on fucking fire already.
Yeah,
I can't
dude.
wait.
Pretty
So-
sure he opens that scene with saying like he's gonna pay for the meal, and then by the end,
Yeah.
of it, he's
That's
like having
my
him
book,
pay for the
right?
meal.
Yeah.
It's just
That whole
nice.
that whole interaction is just like it just sets the tone for the rest of the movie, because it's just like,
Tell me a
yeah,
story.
you should get something to eat, and it's like, nah, you fucked that up, man. Sorry, like yeah, you're not eating. Yeah, the
Tell me the
story.
story.
Yeah.
I thought the filmmaking was like straight up intoxicating. honestly. Like it
Yeah.
was just like so inviting. Like the first at least 30 minutes, especially. I don't know. It's just very like solid. Like I don't know. It's not like anything too crazy, but I guess it's more just like you're there with them in the cars
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. I found like the lights to be. I mean, obviously in like the PCP stuff, it's like fadey and trippy, but like
Yeah.
just in general too, like the warmth of this movie. You know, like it just like
Yeah.
really
How about
draws
the
you in.
framing of like Denzel, like the like when they're in the car most of the time, just like I don't know, Denzel's face is like 80% of the frame, and it's even like cut off, and
It's
it
like
was just
so
like
powerful.
just
Yeah.
builds that intensity. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
to like I guess like your point of like saying how I don't know, there's like little moments where like throughout the script where they like because Denzel pushes him so much and then there's like he has to reel him back in a little bit somehow. And it's always like with these
Yeah,
like
he always like
moments of
drops
like
these little moments that he's like acting like he's the good guy or
yeah,
something.
he's like little nuggets of like saying how he's
like
got the
you could
magic
be
eye.
me, or like
Yeah, he's like
or
you
like
could just
you
up
could
your
lead
street
this
IQ.
squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah, or like when they're taking the money.
even with him, like Denzel, before you know he was like super evil. He's just like two partners, kind of. You can see him like when he's like busting the two dudes he chases after for getting on the girl. You can see like Denzel like show respect that he's like getting after it and shit. So like they're like trading off like respect throughout the first like hour, in ways, and it just like works in my opinion. How they're like passing over, and then like butting heads the whole time though, like
yeah. Yeah, the way Denzel just manipulates Ethan Hawke because he knows he can, for one, because Ethan really wants this job or needs this job. I mean,
Yeah.
he straight up says it at the beginning of the movie, but and so the whole time Denzel can do whatever he wants, just as long as by the end of it, he has that like the warm tone set. Like even with the PCP, when he finally takes it, he laughs like it's a good time. We're having a good time here,
Yeah.
So it's just
Take that beer to leaving you out. Like
Nobody put a gun to your head.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, what a fucking asshole.
You're an adult. Like, yeah.
Such good manipulation on Denzel's, narcissistic
casual.
personality that he has in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
I read that. I was like reading some of the like factoids that Prime has like during some of the scenes, and one said that it was apparently Denzel's like favorite role that he's ever played.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
It's
feel like
best,
it comes
honestly.
through, and it comes through in the performance because goddamn.
Yeah.
definitely.
I feel like this movie too, you're just like thrown from scenario to scenario, like it never really lets it get stale. It just like you have to like deal with the next situation, just like Ethan Hawke's character is, with like new characters, new life, like new situations, and I don't know. I'm finding that like some of my favorite movies nowadays are the movies that are like harder to find the structure, but that there is a structure there that just works. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because like it gets towards the end where he's like losing everything and he's like about to die, and then he dips out of that with like with calling back to what he did early in the script as like a good natured act or whatever. But just like I don't know, the first like hour 20 is just like situation to situation and like building of escalation. And if you just do that well, I feel like you just have to hit a couple beats. This is my theory, at least for writing and movie making, is like you really don't have to hit like page 15 like this thing. It's just like you have to hit this like thing kind of down the road, and as long as you hit it emotionally and get there and interesting and don't lose the audience along the way, I don't know. I think that works in my opinion, but I'm sure there's like a deeper
definitely.
underlying structure in this movie that I just like haven't fully seen yet. But I don't know. Something about this movie is just works in the fact it just doesn't stop. And then it gets to the end where it like finally resolves,
It fills that time with pace and with like interest in dialogue. Like it keeps you wanting more. So no, I think you're right.
And I feel like after Ethan Hawke gets through one situation, he goes to the next one thinking that everything's fine, and then I feel like
somehow
the rules just
clears
like
it
get
up.
flipped or some shit like somehow.
Yeah, he's
there's
immediately
always like a
taken by
twist.
surprise again. Yeah, it's nice.
Which I guess
Kept me
goes back to
interested
the
the
name
whole time.
too, like Training Day, because he's
He's a
just
rookie.
constantly learning new shit.
Right.
Yeah,
He's still
trial by fire,
learning.
fucking the whole time.
Yeah, I think also I just made a note that one of the best lines I thought comes when one of the best scenes is when he gets like dropped off at the like Mexican cartel house, and then you just slowly realize the dude Denzel dipped, and he's just like there, like holy fuck, dude. But in that scene,
dude, I kept thinking like, how the fuck is he gonna get out of this?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah,
like he's
dude. As soon as he
fucked.
like handed the gun over, as soon as he started asking about his gun, I was like, don't
He's just so
like this is
trusting.
something you should not fall
Yeah.
into. Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Don't take the bait.
Right.
But in that scene, he says he should have been a fireman, like defiantly. Like he already knows kind of like what his problem is and like how to solve it, but he's just like stuck in this shitty situation. I don't know. It just made me think like the characters, even though he's like kind of naive, obviously through the whole movie, he's a pretty smart guy by the end of it, you know. And yeah, I don't know. I just a different movie would have pushed like that realization for the main character to be this like moment at the end of like training day's over, I'm gonna be a fireman, I should have been a fireman, you know, like, but it's just like this like clever note three quarters of the way through where the character's like basically done.
Validated.
Yeah,
verified.
he kind of knows like what he's done wrong or what he should do next, and then now he's just got to get out of this like terrible situation, you know, like
Yeah. It's a credit to the writing that like his character doesn't really change a whole lot, even though it's like he's forced to in these situations, you know.
he's kind of just dragged through the dirt and like brought out the other side a little bit, like grimier, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you guys end up rating this? I'm curious because I rated it pretty high. I debated 5 stars for this.
I'm gonna give it 5 stars, honestly. Like this movie works some magic on me.
I gave it 4. I'm definitely gonna bump it up to 4.5. I don't know. I don't know why I thought so low. I think like I said when we met up on Monday, like I feel like I got like 3/4 of the way in, and I was like fully invested. I'm like really feeling it, and then I kind of just like realized that like outside of LA, like this guy literally has no power. Like
Denzel.
He went to Vegas and totally got fucked because
he's kind of an
messed with
idiot.
somebody bigger than him.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I guess like just the reality set in, and I'm just like this is still super interesting, but like I guess like realistically, like I don't know, which like I guess shouldn't really matter. I don't know.
You would have dipped
For some
out
reason,
before
it
then.
lowered my my view of it for some reason, but I don't. Overall, it was still super fucking good.
That's fair. Yeah. I think in a different movie, like they wouldn't have pushed Denzel's character to be so grimy. He would have been just like more of like the grizzled cop, but still good or something. But I don't know. This movie just drags that character to the depths, and like, I mean, he's yelling that he's fucking better than King Kong at the end, and like this movie's
King
loving
Kong
it.
ain't got shit on me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. This is a 4.5 for me. Actually, after watching it, I was like, well, now I have to make a list because I thought this was my favorite movie chest. So I went through all the movie chests that we've watched, and it's my second favorite that I have.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Adaptation.
That's good. That's definitely top 5.
Yeah. Just after watching Adaptation, I don't know. It was like that was like an out of body experience for me. I love that shit. It was so good, so well written. But yeah, this one was like just pure enjoyment on top of just being well written, great characters. So yeah, it was definitely a blast.
Yeah, I think like the script is like way tighter than I think it's like almost a perfectly compact like package. Honestly, like nothing is wasted in this movie. Everything has a purpose, and then like almost everything comes back to like serve its purpose later. Like one moment I realized was Denzel's like on the phone talking about like make sure the bathtub's clean, you know, and it's just like who the fuck is Denzel talking to about some bathtub, you know, like and then
I thought it was like a celebratory, like talking to his lady,
he's talking to his wife or something,
like,
right?
Yeah.
And then later it's obviously the dudes that they're about to kill him in the bathtub, like I don't know, like there's like these little moments. Like the way that Ethan Hawke's character interacts with Denzel's kid and then kind of becomes like a buddy with him. And like that's the way he gets into his apartment later is through that relationship that he formed. Like,
but what's great about it is it doesn't overcook those things. Like he just hangs out with him, and then the next scene you see him, they kind of fell asleep together watching TV, and that's all. And you know what's established there. Same with like the thing that saves him in the end is the wallet, where he picks up the girl's wallet and just puts it in his pocket. Does not bring it back up, but when it comes out in the bathtub, you're like,
Mhm.
oh,
Ah, shit.
And she's
It
like,
pays
my
off
cousins will get
perfectly.
you. My cousins will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're it's like, I don't know. I think like this movie is like the script at least is super tight in my opinion. And
it
I
doesn't
can see,
think we're stupid, which is great. You
Yeah,
know, it
for
knows
sure.
that we're intelligent viewers. So
Tracking
I think
everything.
it, yeah.
hmm
So everything
Yeah,
pays
yeah.
off in that regard.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It made me understand why David Ayer, the writer, is getting like so much leeway these days.
Yeah.
Because this movie, this was like one of his first things, and it's fucking fantastic. And then he does like Suicide
Yeah.
Squad, and End of Watch is pretty good. Not my favorite, but
Yeah, I like End of
Fury's pretty good.
Fury's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
he's got some good ones.
He's not
but
bad,
like
but yeah.
this Suicide Squad, and I think he did the tax collector, which is like he's trying to remake Training Day. It was just
Oh, really?
terrible.
It's like,
Yeah,
how can I
it was
relive
terrible.
His first day of tax collecting.
my nostalgia?
Yeah. Ethan Hawke switches careers.
Denzel is also there as like the
Yeah.
tax collector.
Cameo, dude. Yeah, just a couple like the side characters in this movie too, off the charts, phenomenal, huge. Like Snoop Dogg, Cliff
Yeah.
Curtis was great.
Yeah, man.
Scott Glenn, I think is his name, is the dude
Yeah.
that he fucks over in the
Fantastic.
great stuff. And then I just had to write this down because I think this might have been the moment that it became a 5-star movie. I don't know, but like the way that Denzel clicks his two guns together and goes,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and he just like points the two guns at that may be like the coolest gun move I've ever seen. So like he's like warming it up. He's like sharpening the guns or whatever. Like
Yeah.
this fire, dude. This is so good. So entertaining. Yeah, 5 stars for me. One of the best movie chests for sure.
For sure. I see why people rave about it.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has talked about Training Day, and a lot of people's like favorite movie.
It's true.
Yeah. It's
Fucking
definitely
good.
a banger. Very good.
Yeah.
Good to get around to it. Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I turned it on, I was watching it with my mom, and of course she's like, "Oh yeah, Training Day, this is a good one." And I was like, "Yeah, no,
Nice.
I never really seen it all." And she's like, "What?" So
How did
yeah.
it
Right up your alley. Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad it's one of your mom's like in her catalog.
Oh,
It's
of
definitely
course
seems
it
like one of
is.
those, yeah.
Yeah. You got Goodfellas, Casino, Training Day, you know, all that good stuff that she was just washing over me as a child.
Nice.
Damn, dude. Your mom's got good taste in movies. We need to educate our mom. Our mom's like, you know, Hallmark movies. Like,
Oh, believe me, she watches Hallmark movies too, but I
mean,
think she
wide
would
palette.
choose.
My mom this summer told me the Transformers was the best movie she had seen this summer.
That's rough.
Hell yeah.
That's a rough
Hell
one.
yeah.
I like watching robots fight too. I mean, can't.
That's true.